So either setting up your blanket or your block, and then coming to lie down so that your head is supported and your chest and shoulders can kind of drape over your block here. And then your feet can be in this shape, in a Baddha Konasana shape. They can be with the knees dropping in on one another, more of a constructive rest, or they can be extended. So find a place that feels good. And then you really want to let your shoulders drop on either side of your prop and draw down away from the ears. And it should feel good. And if it doesn't feel comfortable, you can always come off of the prop or adjust it to a space that feels more comfortable. Once you're there, go ahead and close your eyes. And just start to settle in to this space. This place in your body. This internal space where we start to take our attention and our awareness from the outside world, from all of the chaos and things that are going on around us, and we start to turn that gaze within. We start to quiet and come into this place of stillness within ourselves. And even if our mind is not feeling still and our body's not really feeling that stillness, start to turn that gaze inward. Start to pay attention to the breath. And slowly allow the body to begin to quiet, to still. The mind to begin to quiet and still. And let the breath start to take up that space. So that the awareness and the attention comes to that expanding breath. Feeling the breath travel from the belly to the ribs, all the way up into the chest, feeling your collarbones spread. And as you exhale from the top down, feeling the collarbones draw back together, then ribs knit back together, starting to feel the belly draw back towards the spine. Every breath becoming a little bit bigger, a little bit more spacious. Every exhale emptying you out a little bit more, making space for that new breath, that new oxygen, that prana, that life force energy to come in, to expand with that inhale and travel not only up the torso through the diaphragm, but out into every cell in your body, out into the limbs, up into your brain, so that you begin to feel that prana moving through you. And as you do this, feel this space across the heart becoming a little bit more spacious. Feel the back of the heart as it expands into that prop or the floor beneath you. Feel the sides of the heart expanding out towards your arms. And feel the inhale lengthening the side body, the front body, the back body. And the exhale's hugging all sides of the body into the midline. So it becomes this full expansion and then this full contraction. And take a few more breaths like that, feeling as that space opens across the heart on the inhale, and as you exhale, that softening, that deepening into center, into yourself. In these next couple breaths, set any intentions you want to set for your practice. And then if the hands aren't already resting on your body, let them come to rest somewhere on your own body. Sealing your intention. Feeling that physical connection with yourself, that connection to your deepest self. That wisdom within. And letting that wisdom and letting your breath and letting your intention be your guide for your practice. And even as I guide you through this practice, those things are your ultimate guide or ultimate teacher. Take one more big expansive breath. Let the arms extend out into this kind of a T shape. Feel the shoulders draw down from the ears and start to hug into that prop underneath you, getting a big inhaling breath across the ribs. And as you exhale, soften. Let the whole body feel as if it's melting down. Let the hands slide down towards the outer thighs if the knees are wide, and help the knees together. Or draw the knees bent if the legs are extended, or separate the knees if the knees are dropping in on one another. So let the knees just come to stack. And then from here, we're just going to roll to one side and rest in this kind of embryo shape, letting your hand or your prop become a pillow. And then keeping the eyes closed, similar to what we did on Sunday, we're going to start to press ourselves up and make your way into a tabletop on your mat. And don't worry so much about that prop unless it's in your way, but try and stay in this internal space, this place of feeling and noticing and curiosity until you find yourself in tabletop with the shoulders over the wrists and the hips over the knees, and you're just feeling for this. And then start to let your body move without even thinking about it. How does your body move right now? Does it want to circle? Does it want to make a cat-cow? Does it want to drop back into a child's pose or up into a down dog? Let it flow in whatever way it wants to flow. And as you move, start to feel in your body and notice all those little areas that might be feeling kind of constricted or tight. Or maybe there are spots that are feeling particularly good and open and fluid. Take a moment to pay attention. And then start to make your way into cat-cows, letting the inhales lift the tailbone, keep the belly tone as it drops, and then lift the heart and the crown of the head and let the shoulders drop out of the ears. And then the exhales, curl the tailbone, lift the navel to the spine, press the hands into the earth, and broaden across the upper back. And then just find that fluid inhale and exhale as you start to connect your movement to your breath. Start to feel into your hands and into your shins and the tops of the feet, those places of the body that are making contact with the earth, that foundation. Next, inhale, come into a neutral spine. Start to even out the weight in the hands so that the fingertips are rooting and the padding at the base of the fingers are rooting. That space between thumb and index are rooting and the arches are lifted. Tone the core so that your navel is lifting and your spine is long and the tailbone is lengthening. And then go ahead and let the eyes slide open and move those props to the side. Spin the biceps forward as your ribs knit in and your navel lifts in, and then step the feet back and land in a high plank. Now your high plank can be with the knees on the ground, totally fine. Either way, or you can even stay in a tabletop, but find this length in the spine, this firming of your hands into the earth and your legs strong. And then again, lengthen the tailbone towards the heels of the feet, lengthen the heart and the crown of the head towards the top of the mat. Spinning the biceps forward, press your hands into the mat and then feel as if you're dragging the mat apart and then simultaneously pulling the heels of the hands back to your toes. And feel your low belly start to turn on. The whole core should be working, and that same action can be done with your knees on the ground. And then see if you can drop into that fluid inhale and exhale here, even though you're working a little bit more. Can you find stillness in this more active pose? Can you find a fluid breath in this more active pose? And then on the exhale, set the knees down. From here, take the elbows way out in front of the shoulders with the palms touching. Take an inhale, feel your heart get long and your tailbone lengthen back, but stay over the knees. And as you exhale, drop the heart, drop the chin or the forehead to the floor. Take a big inhale, stretch long in the side body, spacious in the heart. And then as you exhale, bend at the elbows, set to the fingertips. and the forearms up to the sky. And then imagine you were squeezing a block between your elbows, so you're drawing them towards one another. There's a little energy in the palms of the hands. The low belly is toned, and the breath is fluid and deep. Really opening into that space around the heart, the side body, the upper back. And then go ahead and release the hands down and separate them. And then on the inhale, you're just going to slide right through onto your belly until you land in the Sphinx pose. So the elbows are just in front of the shoulders or underneath. Draw the shoulders back and down and lift your heart. And feel your forearms and palms of the hands drag into the mat, press and drag back so that you feel your ribs and your heart start to drag forward and up. The legs are active. Let's take a moment here, breathing that space across the collarbones, across the heart, across the abdomen. And then we're gonna, from here, start to bring some work into the core as we exhale. Feel the ribs knit together and lift. Feel the navel lift. Feel the hips lift. Let the thighs lift. And then just as you did in cat, you're going to take the bottom ribs and curl them down towards your hips. You're going to take your hip points and curl them up towards your bottom ribs. So there's almost a little round in the back. The navel's lifting towards the spine. And even as that's happening, you're still breathing. The jaw soft, the gaze soft, the space between the eyebrows soft. Stay here, or you might curl the toes under and lift the knees, staying with all of that action we just created. Steady in the breath, fluid in and out. Finding that Ujjayi breath if you've lost it. Letting the sound of your breath anchor you. And then on the exhale, draw the knees forward and wide, the big toes together. Sink your hips back, let your arms stay long and extended. And then once your hips drop to the heels, let the fingertips press into the mat and the palms, the wrists, and the elbows lift off. Spin the biceps up, sink the sits bones down, and breathe here. Head dropping to the earth. Fluid breaths. And then on the inhale, walk the hands over to the right. Take a big inhale as you walk the hands away from you. Exhale, roll the outer shoulders down and then roll the left side body down. And then take a big inhale into your left ribs. And you can flatten the hands here. And then walk your left hand over to your right and see if you can interlace the fingers in the webbing of the right hand. Take another inhale and stretch that left side body even longer. And then exhale again, outer shoulders roll down, left side body rolls down. A little deeper stretch here. And if it feels like too much, then keep the hands separated. And then as you inhale, walk back to your center. Tent back up onto the fingertips and take the hands up and over to the left. Stretch the hands equally away from your shoulders, so they're shoulder distance, walking away. Exhale, roll the outer shoulders down and the right side body down. Take a big inhale into the right ribs. And then exhale, flatten the hands to the earth, start to walk your right hand over to your left, interlace the fingers in the webbing of the left hand. Take an inhale, stretch that right side body long. And as you exhale, outer shoulders down, right side body down again. One more inhale to breathe into the ribs, into the sides, all the way up into the tricep. Good. And then inhale back to center. Take an exhale, just melt your torso to the earth, your head to the earth. Let the arms be soft, let the whole body soften here. Knowing that this is always a place you can return to. And then inhale and float yourself up to that tabletop. Restack everything. Wrap the biceps forward again. Anchor the hands down again. And then exhale. This time we'll just lift right up to down dog. Take a moment in your down dog to move in whatever way feels good. So that you can start to feel your way into your full expression of down dog. With the triceps wrapping in and the heart pressing back. Take 2 breaths here. look under the chair in the bedroom. And if not, look in your room on the shelf. Okay, from here, inhale, look to the hands. And as you exhale, take a slow walk forward. Let the feet land hip distance and parallel between the hands, soften the knees. Walk the hands up to the thighs and take an inhale and extend your heart forward. And as you do that, draw the shoulders back and widen the collarbones. Feel the ribs knit and the navel lifts and the tailbone lengthen. And then exhale, keep that length in the front body and drape over your thighs. Bend the knees as much as you need to here to feel supported. Let the head drop. And then everybody bend your knees quite a lot so that your torso is actually resting on your thighs and your upper body's hanging heavy and the head is hanging heavy. And then tone the belly, tone the legs, and start to press your feet into the earth to roll your spine up. Keep the knees bent the whole way, keep the belly strong the whole way. And then let the head stop. Up, roll the shoulders back and down. Spin the palms forward, close the eyes for a moment. Put your feet on the earth. Okay, from here, sorry about that. Inhale, take the arms, reach them up, lift the heart. Feel your feet anchor down, the tripods in the feet so the arches lift, the kneecaps, the belly, the heart, and the crown. And stretch your fingers up, spread them apart, side body's nice and long. And then tilt the gaze up without crunching the back of the neck. And if this doesn't feel good on the neck, then you're just gonna stay neutral. But think about feeling length on all sides of the neck. So the throat's starting to open, but the back of the neck is also open. And then as you exhale, use the belly to draw yourself forward, soften the knees, hinge forward at the hips so you come down with that long spine. Let the hands rest, and then inhale, slide them up to the thighs and feel that extension again, shoulders back, heart forward. And then exhale, fold down, set the hands down flat and walk yourself back to downward facing dog. From here, inhale, take your right leg back and up. Keep the hips squaring so the inner thigh is rolling up and the outer thigh is rolling down, and you're extending out through the ball of the foot and spreading through the toes. So there's action and energy through the whole leg. Your hands press evenly into the earth and the triceps are wrapping in towards your head. And then notice where the weight is in the hands. Probably dumping to the outer edges, the heels of the hands. So even it out, press into that space between the thumb and the index. And then on the exhale, start to curl your knee in towards your chest, your thigh up towards your ribs. Shifting maybe into a plank or maybe staying more into a down dog, that's up to you. And then curl the head in and lift your navel up. Hold and breathe. And then inhale and stretch that leg up again. Triceps wrap open, and then this time spin your hip open so the right hip's stacking on top of the left. Lift the leg even higher. Press your left arm into the mat even more. And then bend the knee and spin open a little bit. Take a big breath through your right side. And then extend the leg. And square the hips. Exhale, bring the knee into the forehead again, the navel into the spine. Look to your right thumb, set your foot there. Go ahead and set your left knee down. And inhale, rise up into a low lunge. Uncurl the toes and press the top of the foot and the shin down. Press the sole of the front foot down and then drag them towards one another. Good. Inhale, lift tall here. And then on the exhale, you're going to interlace the hands and set them at the base of the skull with the thumbs running down the neck. And the interlaced hands acting as this cradle for the base of the skull. Feel an inhale as your heart starts to lift. And as you exhale, let the weight of the head drop back into the hands. The elbows be wide here. The belly lifting. And then on the exhale, start to drop your right sit bone a little closer to your right heel. Draw the outer right hip back and in. Keep the low belly firming. Inhale, lift the heart again. Drop the weight of the head back again. And breathe across the chest and the throat. Good. And then as you exhale, use your core to bring you upright. Inhale and extend the arms. Keep the hands interlaced in this fist now above your head. Draw the biceps in by the ears. The core is strong, the tailbone is lengthening. Inhale, and on the exhale, you're gonna reach the knuckles out over to the right. Keep drawing that outer right hip back and in and anchoring the feet, shin down and together. From here, open your right hand, pull your left arm up and over. Keep anchoring down through that left side, lifting up through the belly, and then expand the breath through the whole left side. Good. And then inhale back to center. Separate the hands. Exhale, set the hands down. Take it back, high plank. Inhale and pause in your high plank, firming up that foundation. Breathing. From here, let's all set our knees down. Shoulders back and elbows in on the inhale. Think about dragging your heart forward and then lowering maybe an inch, maybe 2 inches, maybe shoulders in line with elbows. Squeeze the elbows in, press the feet down, and then exhale. Push up. 2 more like that. Inhale, heart forward, shoulders back, elbows in, lower, however much you're going, and then exhale, push up. It might only be an inch, that's okay. One more time. Inhale, heart forward, shoulders back, elbows in, lower. Exhale, push up. This time, inhale, and on the exhale, lower all the way to your belly. Keep the hands where they are. Ideally, wrists under the elbows. Draw the elbows together and the shoulders together and back and down, and then extend the legs and anchor them. Tops of the feet pressing, and then hands press down, drag back so that your heart drags forward and lifts up. Baby cobra, back of the neck long. Lift your navel, anchor your pelvis, anchor the tops of the feet. Exhale, lower your head to the earth, take an inhale. For this one, you're gonna press through your hands and your knees as if you were coming out of that push-up. So firm your core, press in your hands, press into your knees, make your way back through tabletop to downward facing. Set up the hands and the triceps, and then inhale, send that left leg back and up with the hips squaring for this first one. And then exhale, draw the knee in towards the chest, the thigh towards the ribs, and maybe the head towards the knee. And then look to your thumb and set your foot there. Right knee comes down, inhale, arms come up, low lunge. Set up that foundation right away. Switch up the clasp of the hand so the opposite thumb is on top. Reach tall, and then set the knuckle or the palms at the base of the skull and the thumbs down. Take an inhale here, firming in to the floor and lifting up. Exhale, left sit bone drops towards the left heel. Outer left hip draws back and in. Lift the low belly so that the low back lengthens and you feel that right hip flexor start to open. And then inhale and keep that lift traveling all the way up into the heart and the gaze. So the weight of the head starts to drop back into the hands. Another inhale as you open and lengthen the front of the body. Exhale, the head comes heavy in the hands. Spread that breath across the chest. Firm in your foundation and strong in the core so you're supported. And then inhale, bring yourself back up. Extend the arms up, keeping those fingers interlaced. Draw the biceps in, and then pull your ribs and your belly in. Inhale, stretch tall, and as you exhale, take the knuckles up and over to the left. Outer left hip back and in. Anchor the right shin bone down, and then open your left hand. Pull with that left hand up and over to the left. Keep anchoring that right side, lifting the belly. You should feel a nice big opening in that whole right side. And then inhale back to center. Separate the hands. Exhale, set the hands down. Take the left leg back and up. Three-legged dog, inhale. Triceps wrap in, lift the leg higher, and then spin the hip open and bend the knee. Breathe into that left side. Keep pressing your right arm in, and then extend the leg, square the hip, and set the foot down. Inhale, forward to your high plank. Exhale, set the knees down. Shoulders back, heart forward. We're going to inhale to lower, elbows in, shoulders back, and exhale to push up. Two more like that. You are welcome to try this with your knees off the ground. Same action. Inhale to lower, exhale to push up. One more time. Inhale to lower, exhale to push up. This time, inhale, exhale to lower, and come all the way to your belly. Uncurl the toes, press the tops of the feet down. Take the hands now down by your hips. Inhale, reach the heart forward, lift it. Exhale, reach the arms back, lift them. Flip the palms so they're facing in with the pinkies up and the thumbs down. Feel your shoulder blades squeeze together and down away from your ears. And then feel the palms squeeze together. So the whole back body's turned on. And then on the next exhale, feel your legs extend and lift also. Everything lengthening, breathing, and then lower down. Make a pillow with the hands and just rock the hips side to side. From here, set your hands under your shoulders, inhale. And on the exhale, either reverse that chaturanga or press through your hands and your knees and make your way to down dog. And we're gonna hold and breathe here. Couple more breaths. Okay. Next inhale, look to the hands, and at the bottom of the exhale, step walk or maybe float the feet forward. Let them be hip distance again, landing hip distance in parallel. Soften the knees a bit as you inhale, hands to the thighs, heart forward, shoulders back, ribs and belly in. And then again, float the hands back just like you did in that cobra, thumbs down, pinkies up, and press the palms together, the shoulder blades together, and then feel the ribs and the belly lift up and in. So it's both, front body and back body working. And then bend the elbows and interlace the hands. Shoulders squeeze. This time press the wrists back. Let the palms separate. And exhale, drape over the thighs. Let the head drop. Let the wrists lift. And then you might start to straighten the legs, but you might keep them really bent. Whichever feels better. Let the head drop heavy. And let the shoulders lift up away from your ears. And then release the hands to the sacrum, set them to the hips. Elbows draw together, shoulders lift. Inhale, come into that half lift. Feel your feet press into the earth, feel the core turn on. And then you're just gonna unhinge and come up the rest of the way as you press the floor away. Inhale, reach the arms up tall. And then exhale and fold all the way down. Inhale, come into that half lift. Exhale, walk it back, down dog. Inhale, take your right leg, reach it back and up, and exhale, curl it in. Knee to the chest, side of the ribs, head to the knee. Look to your right thumb, set your foot there. This time, keep your left knee up if that's available. If it's not, set it back down. Draw the outer right hip back and in. Firm into your foundation, your legs. Start to lift through your core and hover the hands. And then, same thing. Stretch them back, shoulders back, squeeze together, palms squeeze together. Belly is strong. Try and get that spine as long as you can. If you're feeling really rounded, support your back. Okay, and then from here, firm into the legs and the core. And inhale, drag the heart up, drag the arms up, come into a high lunge. From here, bend that left knee, pull the low belly in and feel it get long. And then keep that, but straighten out the left leg. So it should be a nice deep opening in that left hip flexor. Breathe here. Good. Now cactus your arms. Take an inhale as you lift the heart, keep the belly and ribs firm. And then as you exhale, draw the upper shoulder blades together like you're squeezing your forearms straight back. Good, and then release that, take an inhale. If you need to set your knee down at any point, do that. Then on the exhale, squeeze the middle shoulder blades together. And then inhale, soften that. And then on the exhale, squeeze the bottom shoulder blades together. And then inhale, release that, stretch the arms up tall. We're gonna put all of those together. As you exhale, cactus the arms, upper shoulder blades, middle shoulder blades, lower shoulders, squeeze together. Inhale, stretch up. Firm the ribs, firm the core. Exhale, cactus, upper, middle, lower. And then inhale, stretch tall. Beautiful. Exhale, set the hands down. Float that right foot back and up, three-legged dog. Roll the right hip open. Bend the knee. Breathe. Good. And then square the hips. Set the foot down. Inhale forward to your high plank. Exhale, lower to your belly. From here, extend the legs, anchor the feet. Take the arms behind you, interlace them. Shoulders back and down. Inhale, heart forward and up. Exhale, arms back, legs back. Everything lifting and lengthening. Good. Spin the outer edges of the feet down and the inner thighs up. And then lower down. Set the hands under the shoulders as you inhale. And on the exhale, either press through hands and knees, reverse that chaturanga, land and down dog. Inhale, take the left leg, reach back up. Exhale, bring the knee in. Thigh to chest, knee to forehead, navel to spine. Look to the left thumb, set the foot there. Keep the right knee up, but tent up onto your fingertips. Lift the back of the right thigh. Lift the navel, lift the ribs. Draw the shoulders back and hover the hands. Knee can always come down. And then float the hands back. Shoulder blades squeeze together and down. Palms squeeze together. Navel and ribs lift. Feel that extension from the right heel all the way to the crown of the head. And then as you inhale, start to peel your torso up, extend your arms up. Bend that right knee, pull the low belly up and in, and then extend your right leg again. Deep breath in that right hip flexor. Okay, inhale, stretch the arms. Exhale, cactus them. Upper shoulder blades, middle, lower, all squeeze. Inhale, stretch up one more time. Exhale, cactus, upper, middle, lower. And then inhale, stretch up. Good. Exhale, set the hands down. Float that left leg back and up, three-legged dog. Roll the hip open, roll the triceps in. Bend the knee. Look under the right armpit, see if you see that foot. And then press the right arm in and extend the leg. Set the foot down. Inhale forward to your high plank and exhale lower to your belly. Extend the legs, extend the arms, interlace them in the opposite clasp. And then this time on the inhale, everything lifts and lengthens. Good. And then exhale, lower down. We're gonna rest here, child's pose or down dog for about 4 more breaths. So make your way wherever it is you want to take that rest and drop back into your breath. Okay, from here, make your way to down dog if you're not already there. Inhale, look to the hands, and at the bottom of the exhale, step, walk, or float the feet forward. This time, let the big toes touch and the heels be slightly separated. And then inhale, come into your half lift, shoulders back, and exhale, fold over the legs. Either bend the knees and roll up, or unhinge with the long spine, come all the way up, extended mountain. Pause there. Inhale, stretch tall. And then from here, Interlace all but the index fingers. Stretch the index fingers up and the biceps in and pull the belly and ribs in. Inhale here. And then on the exhale, stretch up and over to the right. Let your left hips travel out to the left. Keep the hips squared and the shoulders squared forward. Get a big breath through that left side. And then inhale back to center. Exhale up and over to the left. Right hips traveling over to the right. Shoulders squaring forward, hips squaring forward. Core strong, drawing to the midline. And then inhale back to center. From here, firm into the legs. Take an inhale, stretch the heart up. And then on the exhale, let the hands come behind you so that they're setting right on the low back, the heels of the hands on the low back. Draw the shoulders together and the elbows together, and then press in and down with the heels of the hands. Lift up with the belly, lift up with the heart, and then maybe start to drop back a little bit. But think about that heart expanding kind of at this diagonal towards the upper corner of your room. And the gaze can travel back. But again, think about all sides of the neck staying long. Firm in your low body. Good. And then you might, if your back is okay with it, release the hands and let them come back into that interlaced hands. And then exhale, come back to center. Separate the hands. Take an inhale, stretch tall, and on the exhale, start to sit down into your Uttanasana. Pull the low belly up and in. Keep the spine long here. Keep the heart lifted. And breathe. Keep breathing. Sit down a little bit more. You should be able to see your toes if you glance down. So the weight's dropping back into the heels. The low belly's lifted. The ribs are drawing together and in. Sit down. Hands to the heart here, take an inhale. On the exhale with a strong core, you're gonna twist left elbow to hover above that right knee, so you're just hovering. Take another inhale, get the spine long, and then on the exhale, pull the belly in, rotate more. And then inhale back to center. Same thing on the other side. Exhale, hover the right elbow above the left knee. So this is active twisting. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, use the core to rotate. You pull in, use those obliques. And then inhale back to center. Extend the arms, sit down again. I know the legs are working. Breathe into it. And then exhale and fold. Inhale, lengthen into your half lift. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, take the right leg, reach it back and up. Exhale, bring the knee towards the forehead. Look to the right thumb and set the foot there. Spin your left heel down and rise up into your warrior one. Inhale here. Keep breathing. Bend into that front knee, press into the outer edge of the back foot, and then draw your right hip back. Lift the low belly, lift the heart. From here, pivot onto the toes of that back foot. Shift the weight forward, take an inhale, and on the exhale, draw that left knee right up into your chest. Lift it higher, lift it higher, lift it higher. Then, bring the knees together. Drop your left hand and catch your left ankle. And if you can, flip it so that the thumb is back and the pinky's forward, so you're grabbing the inner edge of the ankle, and if not, grab the outer edge. Draw the knees together, lift up to your right side. Press your, we're not gonna really hinge here, but press your ankle into your foot, your ankle into your hand, and resist with your hand. So just kick back as much as you can, keeping the belly firm and the side body long. Good, and then gently release that. Bring the knee back up in front, inhale. And then hands to the heart. Take that leg back, set it down, warrior one. Inhale, rise up. From here, interlace the hands, same with the index fingers extended. Inhale here, and then on the exhale, lift the belly, lift the heart, maybe lift the gaze. And then exhale, come up, separate the hands. Take it back, three-legged dog. Shift that right leg back and up, and then spin the hip open. Triceps wrap in. Press the arms firm, and then bend the knee. Look under your left armpit this time, and maybe slowly lower it down. Inhale, open across the chest. Extend from the left leg to the right hand. Big breath in. Exhale out the mouth. Good, and then bring it back around, three-legged dog. Inhale. And exhale, set the foot down. Inhale, forward to high plank. Exhale, lower to the belly. From here, keep your right hand where it is. Extend your left arm forward. Your forehead can stay to the ground. On the inhale, extend your right leg back and your left arm forward so that they're lifted, and then lift your navel. Thumb is up and pinky's down on that hand. Inner thighs rolling up and outer thighs rolling down on the leg. And your head can come with the arm, or it can stay on the floor, whatever feels better. Right shoulder is down and elbows tucked in. Good, and then lower down. Set the left hand back under. Extend your right arm. Take an inhale, anchor your right foot down, extend your left leg back and your right arm forward. Breathe here, lift your navel. Tuck that left elbow in and shoulder down. And then lower down. Exhale, make your way to down dog, however it works for you to get there. Inhale, send that left leg back and up. And exhale, bring the knee forward. Look to your left thumb and set your foot there. Spin the right heel down, rise up. Warrior one. Feel your feet, feel into that foundation. Notice the hips and start to draw that outer left hip back and the right hip forward. Breathe here. From here, pivot onto the toes of that back foot, shift the weight forward, take an inhale, and on the exhale, bring that right knee up. Bring it up as high as it'll go, using your belly to lift the thigh up, extending on the side body. And then on the exhale, drop the knee next to it, curl the heel in, and drop that right arm out. Grab the inner ankle or the outer ankle. Inhale, lift tall and long through that left side. Exhale, kick your right ankle into your hand and resist. And then as you do that, keep the core firm. Kick as hard as you can. And resist with the arm strength. Keep kicking. Good. And then gently release the leg. Bring the knee back up, the arm back up. Breathe here. Hands to the heart. Take an inhale, stretching tall, and on the exhale, start to shift, extending that right leg back. Set it back down for warrior one. Inhale, stretch the arms up. Switch up your clasp as you come into those hands interlaced, or index fingers extended. Inhale, stretch tall here. Belly and ribs in. Anchor the outer edge of the right foot down. And then lift the heart and maybe lift the knees.
She was like about to barf, kind of like that.
You can let her outside. In the next exhale, use the core, come back up. Set your hands down and shift that left leg back and up, three-legged dog. Wrap the triceps in, roll the hip open, bend the knee. Look under your right armpit for that foot. If you see it and you want to flip it, control it, lower it down. Inhale, lift the hips, extend across the heart. Big inhale through the nose. Exhale, let it out the mouth. And then bring it back around, three-legged dog, inhale. And exhale, set the foot down. Inhale, forward high plank. Exhale, lower to the belly. From here, take both arms forward and both legs long. Inhale, start to extend the legs back and up. Lift your navel on the exhale. And then maybe inhale, take the arms up. And if this feels like too much, take the arms back. Try it. Thumbs up, pinkies down. Neck long, extending. And then hands under the shoulders, lower, take an inhale. Exhale from here to tabletop. Pause in tabletop breathing. And then exhale, widen the knees and sink back into that child's pose. A couple breaths as you just settle to the earth. And then inhale and roll yourself up. Walk the knees back in and come to stand on your knees. So the knees are right under the hips and the toes are right behind your knees. And then inhale, stretch the arms up tall. Feel both side bodies getting long as if you were standing in mountain pose, but on your knees. Feel the low belly lift so that the tailbone lengthens towards the earth. And then drop the hands right in line with the shoulders and turn the palms down. And then keep that low belly lifted and the tailbone lengthening. And you're going to start to lean back in a long line. So the booty is staying right where it is, and you're long from the knees to the shoulders to the crown of the head. So you might only go back a centimeter, or you might go back quite a bit. But don't let the back turn into a banana or the bum sink to the heels. You're in this firm line. And then exhale and come up. Do that a couple more times. Inhale here. And as you exhale, start to lower back, really firm in that core, firm in the quads, long. Take an inhale. And then exhale, come up. So you're in this line. It's if someone who's just lowering you back. Lower back again, firm into that. Your quads should be working a lot here. And then feel the quads as you pull yourself forward. Do that one more time. Inhale, come back. This time, once you're here, let the right arm float up by your ear. Keep the left arm anchoring you down. And then switch, right arm down. Inhale, take the left arm up. Keep all that strength in the core. This should not hurt your back at all. And then let the arm come back down and pull yourself up. Beautiful. Set the hands down into that tabletop. Curl the toes under and exhale, hover your knees. Biceps are spinning forward, belly and ribs are in. You're just in this hovering tabletop. Set the knees back down. Keep the toes curled under and inhale, stand back up. Inhale, stretch the arms back up. And then exhale and set the hands to your sacrum. Again, palms on your low back, heels of the hands pressing in and down on the sacrum. Shoulders together and elbows together, and inhale as you press down into the heels of the hands, lift up through the belly and the heart and maybe even the gaze. Now that same sensation is when you are being pulled out of that lowering down, that strength in the quads. Use that to keep your quads, your hips above your knees. Then you might let the right arm lift up by your ear. You might even look back towards your fingers. Keep the left arm anchoring. And then stay in this back bend and let the right arm come back. Anchor it back down and let the left arm float up. And if this isn't feeling good, both hands are supporting the back, totally fine. Keep the thighs pressing forward and the belly lifting, and then let the left arm release down. And then use your core, come upright. Set the hands back under the shoulders into that tabletop. Biceps forward, belly ribs in, hover the knees. This time, step your right foot back to high plank, left foot. If that doesn't feel good, stay in that hovering tabletop. Right knee forward, left knee forward. Walk the left leg back, the right leg back. The left knee forward, the right knee forward. Hold and hover. Set the knees down. Inhale, stand back up on your knees. This time, your choice. You can uncurl the toes or keep them curled under. Option to go for a full camel or do that half camel again, or just keep both hands on the back. You choose. So set yourself up firm down into your shins. Engage the quads, lift the pelvic floor and the low belly and the heart, and then draw the shoulders together and the elbows together. Keep all of that, and then start to lift your belly, lift your heart, maybe lift your gaze. Keep the thighs pressing forward, and then maybe you take one arm back up or both arms up, or maybe you reach back with your arms and try and grab your heels. And then once you do that, press your thighs forward again, maybe drop your head back. So if your toes are curled under, it'll be a little more accessible. And breathe. Shoulders squeezing together, belly strong, heart lifted. Okay, wherever you are, hands back to the sacrum. Unwind that. Come back into that tabletop. Set your hands firm, biceps forward, ribs in, belly in. Curl the toes under, hover the knees. Left leg back, right leg back. Left knee forward, Right knee forward, you're still hovering. Right leg back, left leg back. Right knee forward, hold and hover. Hold and hover, hold and hover. And then exhale, lift the hips, walk the feet back, downward facing dog. With the triceps wrapping in, wag your tail, your down dog. Let your hips sway, left, right. Take a big breath in through the nose. And on the exhale, let it out through the mouth. And if you want to pull into Uddiyana at the bottom of that exhale. And then return to your Ujjayi breath. You can stay here, or if you want to float through a final vinyasa, inhale forward to high plank. Exhale, lower, take a cobra or a sphinx, or come through chaturanga maybe and take up dog. And exhale to down dog again. From here, inhale, look between the hands, and at the bottom of the exhale, step, walk, or float the feet forward. Bring them so that the big toes are touching and the heels are slightly separated. Inhale, lengthen into that half lift, soften the knees again. Stay here and breathe, ribs in, belly in, spine long. And then exhale, drape over the legs, let the head go. Start to lift your heels and bend your knees and sit down. And then open the knees wide. Sink your hips back and walk the fingertips forward. Take a big inhale across that upper back. And exhale, let it out the mouth. Do it again. Big inhale through the nose. Let the hips sink. As if you're just expanding that whole upper back. And exhale out the mouth. One more. Inhale through the nose. Fill up, and exhale out the mouth. And then inhale, walk your hands in. The knees will come just a little closer together, but you can keep them wide, or set the hands behind you and help yourself down, or extend the arms in front of you and control your way down. Good. And then from here, just extend the legs, extend the arms, and control and continue that roll down. Once you're all the way flat, inhale, stretch the arms tall, the legs long. And then on the exhale, hug the knees in wide to your shoulders. And let yourself rock side to side. And then bring the knees together and let yourself continue rocking side to side. And then set your feet down and open your arms wide. Pick up your hips and slide them over to the left. And then pick up your knees. Two options. You can just keep the knees stacked, or you can cross the left knee on top of the right. Either way, you're going to drop the knees up and over towards that right elbow. And you're going to drop the back of the left shoulder down to the floor. And then send your left hip away from your chest. And breathe. And if your knees are just stacked, you can extend the legs, one or both of them. And if the knees are crossed, hug the knees in towards one another. Really deep Ujjayi breaths here. Good, and then if the legs are extended, bend them. Bring the legs back up. Set the feet down, slide the hips over to the right now. Bring the knees in again, and again, either cross the right knee on top or keep the knees stacking and drop them up and over towards the left elbow. And then back of the right shoulder anchors, arm extends, maybe the gaze does, and then send the top of the right hip away from your chest. Think about taking the upper right ribs towards the floor and the lower right left belly towards the floor. And then maybe you extend the legs or not. Fluid Ujjayi breath. And then if the legs are extended, bend them and bring the knees back to center. Set your feet down so that your hips can come back in alignment with your shoulders. Line everything up so you have that long line, center line. And then hug the knees in and curl your head and shoulders up and wrap your arms around your shins. Maybe you hold your fingers, your wrists, your forearms, or your elbows. Get nice and tight into this little ball. Keep that and see if your head can drop to the floor. And if it doesn't, lighten your grip so that your head can rest on the floor. And then just really big breaths here. Even though you're compressed, see if you can get that breath big. And then gently release, let the legs soften. Take the arms between the legs and slide up for happy baby. Shins, ankles, outer, inner edges of the feet. Tailbone down, head down, the whole length of the spine on the floor. Still or rocking as you like. And then once you're complete there, let your body come down, Supta Baddha Konasana or full Shavasana as you like. Hands rest on the belly, or take a loose cactus with the arms, whichever feels better, but draw the shoulders out of the ears. Close the eyes. Start to feel your body settling into the earth. And we're just going to take one big cleansing breath here before we drop into our final resting pose. Take a full inhale. Let it fill all the way up. Keep going. Sip in a little bit more air. Get as full as you can. Pause at the top if that works for your body. Feel all of that container of prana filled up in your body. And then on the exhale, let it be a slow release out the mouth as if you're deflating a balloon. And then once you're all the way deflated, let the legs extend, let the arms drop back down by your side as you make your way into your final resting pose, Shavasana. Let the whole body settle in here and rest. Shavasana. Return to poem by M. Clare. Our frailty is our humanity, our courage, our compass. If you've not yet been broken open by your perfect humanness, been turned inside out by a loss, drifted like seawood, if you've only just realized that you are fallible, frangible, fragile, then there is a tremendous amount of meaning that has been lost. But if you have suffered yourself enough, been split by self-pity, by stubbornness and pride, then all that was lost is returned to your heart, whole, unopened, blameless, free. If you're able to stay in Shavasana, stay just as you are. If you're ready to begin that transition, start by deepening the breath. Just beginning to feel the rise and fall of the belly. Start to feel the back body resting on the earth. Feel the back of the heart heavy to the earth. Feel the front of the heart light to the sky and the air above. And the sides of the body, the sides of the heart, spacious. And then start to take that slow, deep breath as it winds its way up into that whole heart space. And the exhale softening. And slowly let that deepened breath transition into slow movement. And let the hands come to rest right on your heart. Just take a moment to feel into that space, to feel that connection with your deepest self, your heart of hearts. And from there, send your whole being love and gratitude, respect and compassion. May we be at peace. May our hearts remain open. May we be awakened to the light of our true nature. May we be healed. May we be a source of healing and kindness for all beings. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Thank you for joining me today. Namaste.